The trust getting real used. My thoughts run out my senses. It's spinning out my head. Don't trust me, just let me. Don't take my freedom from me.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series, I'm going to be talking about my list of the rulers of sex in astrology, okay? My personal list that I came up with. And the way I came up with this topic is actually one of my friends was complaining on social media about Scorpios having the biggest reputation of the sex gods in astrology, which is true. They do have a big reputation. And she felt like Tauruses were the best, and she connects with that and that they should get their props. And I had to DM her and let her know, like, hey, Taurus are actually primary rulers of sex as well in astrology based off of my list. Okay, because they are. And actually there's 5 rulers of sex in astrology, okay? And that is Aries, Taurus, Leo, Libra, and Scorpio, okay? Aries, Taurus, Leo, Libra, and Scorpio, okay? It's not just Scorpio, okay? And I came up with this list so that people can better understand sex in general, because sex has many different perspectives, and these are the 5 ones in my opinion. And the first one we're going to start with, and we're going to be talking about, is Aries, okay? Aries. So this one's going to be about Aries. This video is going to be about Aries. And Aries, I'm starting with Aries because Aries is the primary ruler of sex. This is the first ruler, the most, like, main ruler. I say this because this deals with your arousal, your body, your physical body. Because before sex connects us to anybody else, before we experience it with anyone else, we experience it within ourselves, with our physical body, our physical chemistry, what turns us on. And that is what Aries energy is dealing with. It deals with arousal, how we turn on, how we feel our sexual energy within our body, how it initiates, okay? So that is all arousal, and that is the primary form, okay, of sex, okay? Because before we start talking about performing and connecting with other people and all that type of stuff, we first have to start off with us, how we experience it first, how it's initiated, how we feel that energy within us, and that is Aries energy. Aries represents the arousal, because when you think about Aries is arousal. It deals with that instinctive energy, our adrenaline, our temper, and all of that aligns with our sexual energy too, okay? So sex is a form of, like, your temper, your anger, that energy that deals with your adrenaline, okay? So the first thing I would love to say with Aries and sex is this is your sex drive, okay? When you talk about your sex drive, okay, this is like your personal, I would like to say your personal sex engine, like what type of sexual energy you're working with, okay? All right, because Aries is ruled by Mars, okay? And this is all about our energy, our physical bodies, the energy that we store, how we have it, how we utilize it, how much of it we have. And that, again, correlates, that adrenaline energy, instinctual energy correlates to our sex energy. So that's our sex drive. So you can know your sex drive based off of looking at your Aries placement, your Mars sign, which rules Aries, okay? All of that, because again, Aries is about your drive, okay? That's why Aries have a lot of sexual energy, because they have a lot of drive, okay? It's that natural physical energy that moves our body. That is also our sexual energy. So your sex drive is defined by Aries. And again, this is your primary sexual energy, because before we connect with other people, we got to work with what we got first. How do we initiate that energy? And that is what Aries explains, okay? That's why Aries are very sexual, and they're defined by getting turned on, you know, that hypersexuality, you know, that is again representative of the energy of Aries. So our sex drive, our personal sexual energy, this is the first part of sex, how we get turned on, how we start, what we're working with, okay? So again, Aries is a very huge, important ruler of sex. It's not just Scorpio, okay? It is Aries, and Aries is the most basic primary form of it, because again, we're dealing with our sexual energy, our sex drive, our gas, our tank, what we're working with, and also how we get motivated sexually, how we get turned on, okay? This is, again, the Aries energy. It's dealing with our physical body, our turn-ons, our physical sexual chemistry within our body, how it gets turned on, how it's initiated, all of that. That's the beginning of sex, how we initiate it. It starts with ourselves, which is explained in Aries, that fire within us that deals with the self, okay? That energy, that is the primary energy of sex. That is Aries. So Aries is a very, very, very important and primary core example of sex. And that's why in my list, Aries is the first, okay? First ruler of sex, because that is where it comes from. It comes from our energy personally. And can be explained if you look at a lot of Aries energy, okay? People with lots of Aries placements and Aries as an archetype, very sexual. It's a fiery sign. It's all about initiating. So this is the initiation of that sexual energy. That's why Aries have that reputation of being very climactic, okay? You can think of this sexual energy like a sprint, like just bursting off. Like when I think of this Aries energy, it's like people who, just want to hit it and quit it. They want to just get off, and that motivation, that wanting to, is again that Aries energy. That's why Aries, they like to hit it and quit it. They like to just, have, sexual outbursts because they have that energy within them. Okay, so again, when we talk about primary sexual energy is again initiation, and when we talk about Aries, you see how much of how sexual they are and how they always want to get turned off and they just want to, hit and quit it, that type of energy. Very Aries because it's defined by initiating and releasing sexual energy. And it's very much like a climax, like I said. When we get into the other signs, we're going to see how sex becomes more complex. But when we talk about the primary first love, which is Aries, it's very hit it and quit it. I like to even call it like, people want to say, 1 minute man, people who are just fast, they just exert their energy and then they're off, because it's very basic sexual energy. It's just the arousal of it. There's not all those emotions and connections that we're going to talk about later in the series when we get to the other signs. This is very basic primary sexual energy. So in Aries nature, it's very selfish, and it's like a sprint, it's not like a long distance run. It's a sprint, you just boom, you exert your energy and then you move off. So definitely understand this, our primary sexual energy is very superficial in that sense. So yes, that is another way to look at it. Also, this is a very masculine form of sexuality. When we talk about Aries ruling sex in this perspective, very masculine, because masculine is all about taking action, forward action, initiation. That's why Aries is such a masculine energy. It's ruled by Mars and it defines masculinity. It's all about taking action, forward, straight, move. It's an initiator. So that's how this sexuality, this perspective we're seeing it in. And it's a very masculine perspective when we talk about Aries and sex, because this is how we initiate our sexuality. This is arousal. This is like getting turned on. This is taking action in our sexual desires. Okay, it's seen very masculine. Okay, because masculine energy is all about taking action. It's not necessarily about man or woman. Aries energy can live in women, it can live in men. It's more so about understanding masculine and feminine energy. And with feminine energy, it's about receiving, being receptive. Masculine energy, it's about exerting energy, taking action forward. So when we talk about that, when we're talking about that and we're putting it in the context of sex, we're talking about a very masculine perspective of sexuality. That's why when you see, if you see women with lots of Aries energy, stereotypically, people can perceive that female with her sexual energy is very masculine because she likes to take action on her sexual desires. So when we see women initiating sexual energy, it's like, oh, it's like associated with masculine energy. Because again, it's not really about man and woman. It's about action, taking action for movement versus receiving, being receptive to energy, absorbing. Okay, so the difference between that. So when we talk about, again, Aries energy and sex, we're talking about a very masculine perspective of sexual energy, which is, again, taking action, initiating sexual energy, and pushing forward sexual energy, taking action on it. Okay, the initiation of it just becoming of an existence. Okay, that is masculine energy, because masculine energy is all about starting, initiating. And yes, and of course, like I said, Aries is ruled by Mars. So again, when we're talking about this perspective of sexuality, we're talking about our instincts, okay? That natural gut instincts we have, okay? That energy that we don't think about, we just feel the energy and it just takes on natural action. That's our instincts, our adrenaline, okay? Our temper, all that energy. That also correlates to our sexual energy, our sex drive. So you'll see the correlation. And you see that because, again, Aries is ruled by Mars. It deals with our adrenaline, our instincts, you know, those natural impulses that create energy and action. All of that connects to sex, and that is the primary form of sex, okay? How we're aroused, how we initiate it, and the energy and the sex drive we have within ourselves. So that is the first ruler of sex, which is Aries, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed that, okay? Aries is very much that primary force, okay? And it starts with us. It's our sex drive. It's how we initiate it and how we take action. And the energy of sex we're working with. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and come back for some more. If you did book a reading with me, I do astrology readings as well as natal chart readings. All you have to do is email me and we can go forward with that. And also check out my music. I have my links of all my music, which will be Spotify, YouTube here on YouTube, and Apple Music. All of the links will be in the description box below. And I'll check you guys out on the next video.